Today we'll begin the process of teaching a correct straddle jump to our Xcel Silver gymnasts. We first make sure that our athletes understand what their goal is and what a correct straddle jump should look like. Once our athletes have a clear understanding of what they're trying to correct in their straddle jump, we put some leg weights on them and have them attempt a few on a trampoline. You can see here that Balloon is just now starting to understand that her knees must turn up to face the ceiling and her hips must turn under. To increase their active flexibility, we have them put their feet on super sliders, their hands behind themselves with good posture, and straddle their feet open to either side of their body. TheraBands are also very helpful for beginner through advanced athletes with this skill. We have our beginner athletes doing straddle jumps off of a springboard so that it gives them a little bit more power and they can really focus on the correction of turning their kneecaps up toward the ceiling and rolling their hips under in the straddle jump. At first, Mackie Sam was struggling to get her hips underneath her. She was leaving her low back in an arched body position and leaving her knees facing forwards, as you can see here. With some persistence, she is able to roll her hips underneath her shoulders rather than behind her body. The hip under roll, or snap as we call it, does happen slightly later in the straddle jump than we would prefer, but it is a start. Balloon demonstrates a great example of what this drill should look like when the athlete is proficient with rolling the hips underneath. In order to teach our athletes that they need to snap down as well as snap up, we have them do a straddle jump first up to a mat and then off of a mat. Mackie Sam struggles getting her hips under as she does a straddle jump up to the mat. However, as she does a straddle jump off, she is able to turn them under at the last second before snapping down. Here you'll see her knees are still facing front, and then before she snaps down, she's able to quickly turn her hips under and face her kneecaps towards the sky. We find that our Xcel Silver athletes are able to benefit more from training one correction at a time. Coach Devin gives Noodle a slight hip lift on the way up to her straddle jump so that she is able to focus on the hips tucked under and knee up body position, which she correctly executed in that last straddle jump. Balloon as well was able to execute that, but does need to point her toes. And after 20 minutes of drills, Mackie Sam, who at first seemed to struggle the most with this body position in her straddle jump, was able to execute a beautiful body position with her hips tucked under and her knees facing the ceiling. Found these drills helpful? Subscribe below or follow us on Instagram.